naming Diyos. Maraming salamat po sa buhay at lakas na aming taglay, sa liwanag ng kaisipan at sa pagkakataong maipagpatuloy ang pag-aaral ng mga kabataan. Gabayan mo po ang bawat isa sa amin. Anuman ang bahagi na aming gagampanan, naway maging maayos at matagumpay ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral na aming gagawin sa araw na ito. Patawarin mo po kami sa aming mga pagkulang at pagkakasala. At sa aming paggawa, ikaw po ang aming makasama. Amen.
Good morning, Grade 5. Welcome once again to our FB Live in Mathematics 5. I am Sir Tantay from Dalandanan Elementary School, your FB Live teacher for today. Based on our most essential learning competencies in Quarter 4, Week 3, and at the end of the lesson, we have two objectives. First one is to find the volume of a given cube and rectangular prism using cubic centimeter and cubic meters. And to estimate and use appropriate units of measure for volume. Before we go to our lesson proper, this is an example of a cubes and rectangular prism. Let's have first a review about perimeter and area of rectangle and square. So let's start with a perimeter. It is represented by capital letter P. In this figure, we have the 3 units in the width and 5 units in the length, another 3 units for the width and another 5 units for the length. In order to find the perimeter of this rectangle, we are going to use 2 multiplied by the sum of 3 units plus 5 units. So we have 2 multiplied by 3 plus 5 is 8 units. So we have 2 times 8 is 16 units. Therefore, the perimeter of this rectangle is 16 units. Now, how about the area? The area, represented by capital letter A, area is equal to, of course, 3 units, the width, multiplied by 5 units, which is the length. Therefore, the area of this rectangle is 15 square units. Another example. Perimeter is the total distance around the figure. And in this rectangle, we have, of course, the width is 5 meters, plus 8 meters, plus another 5 meters, and another 8 meters. Therefore, perimeter is equal to 2 multiplied by the sum of 5 and 8 meters. And we have 2 multiplied by 5 plus 8 is 13 meters. Therefore, 2 times 13 meters is equal to 26 meters. The perimeter of this rectangle is 26 meters. How about the area? Area is the number of squares that cover the surface inside a plane figure. Therefore, the area of this rectangle is A is equal to 8 meters, the length, multiplied by 5 meters, which is the width of the rectangle. Therefore, the area is equal to 8 times 5 is 40 meters square or 40 square meters. Okay. Remember, the distance between a perimeter or the difference between a perimeter and area, we have perimeter refers to the distance that surrounds a closed figure, while the area refers to the measurement of the surface of the closed figure by square units. How about volume? Okay, let's find out. What is the difference between perimeter, area, and volume? In this figure, we have 3 centimeters, which is the width, For the side of the square, 3 centimeters, another 3 centimeters, and another 3 centimeters. Therefore, the perimeter of the square is equal to 12 centimeters, which is centimeter is the unit of length. How about the area? Okay, in this figure, we have 2 centimeters as the side of the square, and therefore, the area of this square is 4 square centimeters. And centimeter square or square centimeter is the unit of the area. How about the volume? Okay, we have this figure. If we count the number of cubes, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and therefore, the volume of this figure is 4 cubic centimeters. Remember, centimeter cube is the unit of volume. Now, take a look at the units of perimeter, area, and volume. The unit for perimeter is centimeter, which is the exponent is 1. And if the exponent of a unit is 1, it is only a measure of length. It has one dimension, which is only the length. How about in area? You will notice that the exponent of centimeter as the unit of area is 2 or square. This time, the exponent 2 means that the area has 2 dimensions. We have the length and the width. Now, how about the volume? In volume, we have cubic centimeters, and the exponent is 3. You will notice that the unit for volume is cubic centimeters. And the 3 means 3-dimensional. It is a cube with the length, the width, and of course, the height. Okay? So you'll notice in perimeter, we have only a unit of length. In area, we have a square which has the dimensions of length and width. And in the volume, we have 3 dimensions. We have the length, the width, and of course, the height. Now, let's proceed. How do we measure volume? Okay, let's find out. Volume is measured in cubic centimeters or in other units as long as it is in cubic meters. We have also cubic decimeters, and also we have another units which is cubic millimeter. But this time, we are going to use cubic centimeters and cubic meters. Okay. Here is an example of cubic centimeters. This one. It is a cube which measures 1 centimeter in all directions. We have 1 centimeter as its length, 1 centimeter in its width, and also 1 centimeter in its height. We will now see how to find the volume of cube and, of course, rectangular prism, or another term for rectangular prism is a cuboid. Let's start with the volume of cuboid or rectangular prism. Take a look at this cuboid. Okay, so this one, we have 3 dimensions. We have 10 centimeters as the length, 3 centimeters as the width, and also 4 centimeters as the height of this cuboid or rectangular prism. Now, we must first calculate the area of the base of the cuboid. And this time, since the base is a rectangle, we have to find the area of the rectangle which has the length of 10 centimeters and also the width of 3 centimeters. So how do we find the area of the base, which is a rectangle? Let's find out. Okay, so we have 10 centimeters as the length of the rectangle and 3 centimeters as the width of the rectangle. So this time, in order to find the area of the rectangle, we are going to multiply the length and the width of the rectangle. So we have area of the rectangle is equal to 10 centimeters times, of course, 3 centimeters. So what is 10 times 3? Of course, the area is 30 centimeter square. Now, we can place 30 centimeters square on the base of the cuboid or rectangular prism. And also, we can place 30 cubic centimeters on the base of the cuboid. Okay, let's find out. Here is the base of the cuboid. We have 10 times 3, we have 30 cubic centimeters. Let's continue. This time, in this illustration, we are going to find how many cubic centimeters can be placed in the whole rectangular prism. So what shall we do? In first layer, we have 30 cubic centimeters. Okay, so we are going to find out how many layers of 30 cubic centimeters can be found or can be put inside the rectangular prism. So we have, of course, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 layers. So we can put or we can fit in 4 layers in the rectangular prism. So how many cubic centimeters are there in all? We have, of course, 30 centimeters squared multiplied by 4 centimeter as the height. So we have 30 times 4, we have 120 centimeter cube. Therefore, this means that we can place 120 of our cubes measuring a centimeter in all directions inside our cuboid or rectangular prism. Let's have another way on how to find the volume of a cuboid using what we call cross-sectional area. Okay, let's find out. When we calculate the volume of the cuboid, we have, of course, we have still the length 10 centimeters, the width of 3 centimeters, and the height of 4 centimeters. And of course, we find the area of the base, which is the cross-sectional area, and the cross-section is the shape what or that is repeated throughout the volume, which is when we calculate the number of layers or cross-section made up of the volume, we have, of course, the product of the length and the width, which is 10 times 3, and we have 4 layers, so we have 10 times 3 times 4. This gives us the formula for calculating the volume, which is the area of the base multiplied by height. Since the base is rectangle, we can replace the area of the base, which is the product of the length and the width. And of course, we are going to multiply the product of the length and width by the height of the cuboid. Therefore, in this figure, we have the volume of a cuboid given, which is 10 centimeters, multiplied by 3 centimeters and by 4 centimeters, which is equal to 120 cubic centimeters. This gives us our formula for the volume of a cuboid, which is a volume is equal to length times width times the height, or volume is equal to length, width, and height. This means that we are going to multiply the 3 dimensions of the rectangular prism or the cuboid, which is the length, the width, and the height. This is the formula for the volume of a cuboid or the rectangular prism. Now, how about the volume of a cube? Okay, so in the volume of cuboid, we have length times width times height. The volume of a cuboid is Of course, let's find out. Take a look at this cube. A cube has 3 dimensions. The length, the width, and the height, which is equal in measurement. So we can replace that as the side. And we have 3 equal sides. Therefore, we must first calculate the area of the base of the cube, which is a square, and the measure of the side of the square is 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. And therefore, the area of the square is 4 multiplied by 4. By counting the number of square centimeters, we have 4 times 4 is equal to 16 centimeters square. We are going to multiply the measurement of the side of the square, which is 4, multiplied by another side, which is also 4. Therefore, the area of the base is 16 centimeters square. We now know we can place 16 centimeters square on the base of the cube. But we can also place 16 cubic centimeters on the base. This is a cube with, of course, 16 cubic centimeters in each layer. How many layers are there? Let's find out. Okay, so we have the first layer, 16 cubic centimeters. Since the side of the cube is 4 centimeters, we have also 4 layers of 16 cubic centimeters in each layer. So, we have now get to find how many layers of 1 centimeter cubes can be placed in the cube, which has the second layer, another 16 cubic centimeters in the third layer, and also another 16 cubic centimeters in the fourth layer. Therefore, we can fit in 4 layers of 16 cubic centimeters in each layer. So we have the volume is equal to 16 cubic centimeters times 4 centimeters. We have volume is equal to 64 cubic centimeters. And this means that we can place a total of 64 cubic centimeters in all directions inside our larger cube. Okay. So, using the cross-section or the cross-sectional area, we have the volume is equal to 4 times 4 times 4, which is equal to 64 cubic centimeters. Therefore, this gives us our formula for the volume of a cube, which is the volume is equal to side times another side, or S times S times S, or S cube. Some books use the term edge. So we can use also volume is equal to edge, or E times E times E, or E to the third power. So we have two formula. Volume is equal to S cube, or we have volume is also equal to E cube, or E to the third power. Since side and edge is the same distance or measurement. Okay, remember, the volume of a cuboid or rectangular prism, we have V is equal to length times width times height. The volume of a cube, we have V is equal to S cube or E cube. And of course, cubic units is the unit for the volume, wherein the exponent of the units is 3. Don't forget to write the exponent 3 in all the units of volume. For example, we have cm cube or centimeter cube, or meter cube or cubic meters. Okay. So this time, let's try to solve this activity. This is what we call what's in the box. Okay. This activity is a 1 minute, which has composed of 3 numbers. The first one, a rectangular prism, 14 centimeter as the length, 5 centimeter as the width, and 7 centimeters as the height. And number 2, we have 5 centimeters as the side of a cube. And number 3, we have 9 meters as the length, 3 meters as the width, and 5 meters as the height of rectangular prism. Are you ready? Okay, your 1 minute timer starts now. Last 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay, let's check your answers. In number 1, we have the volume of 14 times 5 times 7 is equal to, of course, we have 490 centimeter cube. Okay. Did you get the correct answer? Very good. How about in number 2? What is the volume of this cube? We have 5 times 5 times 5. We have a product of 125 cubic centimeters. Now, how about in number 3? Remember that the unit is in meters. So, we have 9 times 3 is 27 times 5. We have 135 cubic meters. Okay. Did you get the correct answers? Very good, grade 5. Now, let's have another activity. You can do it. This time, we have only 30 seconds to solve or answer the 2 activities. Solve for the volume. We have in number 1, the length is 6 centimeters, the width is 7 centimeters, and the height of 8 centimeters. And in number 2, what is the volume of a cube with a side of 6 meters? Okay. Are you ready? Your 30-second timer starts now. Okay. So, let's check your answers again. What is the volume of the rectangular prism in number 1? We have 6 times 7 times 8 is equal to, of course, 336 cubic centimeters. How about in number 2? Of course, we have to multiply 6 times 6 times another 6, we have 216. The unit is meters, therefore, the answer must be in cubic meters. So in number 1, we have 336 cubic centimeters. And in number 2, we have 216 cubic meters. Okay. Let's proceed to another lesson. How to estimate and use appropriate units of measure for volume. Let's consider this problem. Christian Gale has a rectangular aquarium with water inside it. He wants to know the capacity of the aquarium. What shall he do? What unit of measure will he use? Okay. Let's first define the word capacity. How does capacity differ from volume? Okay, capacity, of course, is the amount of space inside a container can hold. But the volume is the amount of space occupied by an object. The standard unit of volume are, we have cubic millimeters, cubic centimeters, we have also cubic decimeters, and we have also cubic meters. And cubic meters or m cube is used to measure large amount of space occupied, while cubic millimeters is used to measure a small amount of space occupied. Now, the standard unit of capacity are liters and milliliters or ml. Liters or capital letter L is used to measure large amount of liquid like water in a pitcher, while milliliter or ml is used to measure small amount of liquid like a half drop of water from a dropper. Okay, so using that idea or knowledge, what unit is suited in each of the following? Let's find out. This is a 5-second activity. What unit are we going to use for the capacity of soda can? Is it milliliters or liters? Okay, your 5-second timer starts now. ml or L? Of course, the answer is milliliters. How about the capacity of a drum? Is it milliliters, ml, or liters? Another 5 seconds. Yes. Of course, the answer is liters. How about the other one? Capacity of glass of juice. 5 seconds. Is it milliliter or liters? Okay. Of course, the answer is milliliters. Let's have another one. Capacity of bottle of syrup. Is it ml or L or liters? 5 seconds. Okay, the answer is, of course, milliliter. Now, let's have another 30-second activity. You can do it, of course. Read, analyze, and solve the following problem. In number 1, we have the inside dimensions of a cooler are 5 decimeters by 5 decimeters by 3 decimeters. What is the capacity of cooler in liters? And in number 2, we have a rectangular swimming pool is 25 meters by 16 meters and has an average depth of 2 meters. How many cubic meters of water will it take to fill the pool? Okay, so we have a 30-second timer. And your 30-second timer starts now. What will be the answers in this two problems? Okay, time up. Of course, in number 1, we are going to multiply 5 times 5 times 3. We have 75 decimeter cube. And we can convert this in liters as 75 liters. How about in number 2? Of course, we are going to multiply 25 times 16 times 2, and the product is 800 cubic meters. Okay. Let's have another. This time we have our question and answers. And we have a question. Sir, how many liters of water does 1 cubic meter container can hold? Okay. To solve for this problem, let's take a look on how to convert first cubic meters to cubic decimeters. Let's find out. Okay, so we have a unit of conversion. Meters convert to decimeters. We're going to convert 1 meter cube to decimeter cube because 1 dm cube is equal to 1 liter. Okay, so convert 1 meter cube to decimeter cube. We have 1 times 1,000 over 1 meter or cubic meters. We can cancel out here meters and, of course, other meter. And we have 1 cubic meter is equal to 1,000 cubic decimeters. And therefore, since 1 cubic decimeter is equal to 1 liter, we have 1 cubic meter is equal to, of course, 1,000 liters. Okay, let's have a quotation. The essence of mathematics is not to make simple things complicated, but to make complicated things simple. This is by S. Goddard. That's all for today. Thank you. See you again next time.